July 2nd. A Crumby Life. The fairy tale of Hansel and Gretel wandering through the forest revealed the fatal flaw in the strategy of dropping breadcrumbs to find their way home. Their breadcrumbs were gobbled up by the birds, leaving that brilliant idea in the bellies of well-fed crows, while stranding the children in a dark and dangerous place. One day I thought, I like the idea of having breadcrumbs everywhere I go. Of course, I wasn't considering littering my path with actual bread, but littering my path with little words of encouragement to people I encounter each day. It is easy to see when I open my eyes and heart to the people around me, the hunger for God's goodness. Human beings are all born hungry, not only physically, but spiritually, requiring both words of encouragement and words leading to the bread of life himself. And we don't all search for bread in the same places or at the same times in life. I have discovered, too, that most people don't need a full meal. They are hungry for crumbs, little bites at a time. Living a crummy life requires that judgments are not made either. There was once a time I did not follow the trail of breadcrumbs myself, though that time has become more and more difficult to remember. My belly has become so full and satisfied that I forget what it was like to be hungry, empty, and searching for God's table of life-giving bread. However, at some point on the path, all of us search the scrap heaps of the world, even scouring the garbage bins, instead of eating the choice foods of God's table. Without the bread of life, Jesus, we are like Hansel and Gretel, stranded in a dark and dangerous place, subject to eternal death and destruction. So, I am learning to delightfully lead a crummy life, leaving small bites of encouragement, leading to the bread of life himself. I hope to leave such a trail of crumbs that the birds will flock to them, that they will find the hope of Jesus, crumbs leading them to his gentle hand instead of the clumsiness of mine. I pray that they will delight in the meal he has prepared for them, preferring it over the crumbs I offered, that they will eat and be satisfied as only he can do, and ultimately I pray they will find their way home and dine with him in all the splendor of heaven at the wedding feast of Jesus. John 6:33, 35, and 40. For the bread of God is he who comes down from heaven and gives life to the world. Then Jesus declared, I am the bread of life. He who comes to me will never go hungry, and he who believes in me will never be thirsty. For my Father's will is that everyone who looks to the Son and believes in him shall have eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day.